पुन्हा रेकॉर्ड करावं लागेल. हे भगवान. Welcome student on another video lecture. Topic is OPM. Test for OPM alkaloid. In that test for morphine and other alkaloids that are given in the pharmacopoeia, and for codeine, uh, they are precipitated by sodium hydroxide solution. This is the identification test for codeine, and the solubility of morphine in sodium hydroxide solution. How much solubility is there, it is depend upon the phenolic nature of that morphine. How much phenolic nature is there, according to that its solubility in sodium hydroxide solution. Now chemical test for opium. Opium is dissolved in water and filter to the filtrate and ferric chloride solution, which gives deep reddish purple color. So opium is taken, it is dissolved in water and filter. To that filtrate, ferric chloride solution is added, and that will produce deep reddish purple color. That is the identification test for opium. Morphine gives orange red color when sprinkled on nitric acid, whereas codeine does not give this taste. So morphine will produce orange red color when it is sprinkled on nitric acid. This is another identification test for morphine. Morphine solution develops bluish green color upon addition of potassium ferric cyanide and ferric chloride. So bluish green color is produced with potassium ferric cyanide and ferric chloride with morphine solution. This is another identification test for morphine. Next test is for papaverine. Papaverine solution develops lemon yellow color with hydrochloric acid and potassium ferric cyanide solution. So hydrochloric acid and potassium ferric cyanide solution, the papaverine will produce lemon yellow color. So these are the identification tests for opium. Now storage. Opium requires a careful storage for its morphine content. Otherwise, if it is not carefully stored, the morphine content will lose, because in past Indian opium appears to have suffered from morphine loss during preparation and storage than other varieties. But when it is dried at 100 degrees Celsius and stored out of contact with air, the loss of morphine is very small. So the morphine after collection, it is dried at 100 degrees Celsius and prevent the contact with air. That is the storage condition, so that the morphine loss is small. After that, adulteration. Opium has been adulterated with sugary fruit, gum, powder, poppy capsule and other substances. Many times the adulteration of opium will occur due to sugary fruit, gum powder and powdered poppy capsule. Poppy capsules are powder and they are mixed with the opium. And all these are the type of adulteration which are occur in opium. But as far as legitimate commerce is concerned, such adulteration is now pointless, because as per the trade or export of that opium will concern, it is now the adulteration will not occur, because the product is analyzed and price paid is governed by the content of morphine and other alkaloid. Before exporting that product, that will be analyzed, and or before selling of that product, it is analyzed and price is paid according to the content of morphine and other alkaloids. So adulteration is now pointless in case of opium. Next uses. Opium and morphine are widely used to relieve pain. So here, before going to how that opium or morphine will relieve pain, how that pain is produced, that we will see. Pain is normally associated with increased activity in primary sensory neurons. So whenever there will be the increase in activity of primary sensory neuron, and which is induced by strong mechanical, thermal or chemical release by due to tissue damage or inflammation. Whenever there is a tissue damage or inflammation is there or injury will occur, then impulse will produce or stimuli will produce. That stimuli may be a strong mechanical or thermal stimuli or some chemical or neurotransmitter get released, and due to that release it will increase the activity of primary sensory neuron. Primary sensory neuron activity will increase and we will feel the pain. So now recent investigators have discovered a compound in a brain. The compound is discovered in the brain that is known as enkephalin, and which resembles morphine in structure. Structurally they are similar with morphine. These enkephalin may relieve the pain by preventing the release of acetylcholine. The enkephalins or morphine, what they will do, they will prevent the release of acetylcholine. These enkephalin molecules, they are released from nerve cell. Nerve cell will release the enkephalins or molecule or the morphine. They will bind to the analgesic receptor on the nerve cell and sending the impulse. If the morphine is administered, then the morphine is attached to the analgesic receptor on the nerve cell, or these enkephalin molecules, they will release from the nerve cell and they will bind to the analgesic receptor and sending the impulse. The binding of enkephalins or morphine like drug changes the shape of nerve. So what they will do, when these enkephalins or morphine, they will morphine is administered, what the morphine will do, it will changes the shape of nerve in and sending the impulse in such a fashion that it will prevent the cell from releasing acetylcholine. It will change the shape of the nerve and sending impulse in such a way that they will prevent the release of acetylcholine, and when the acetylcholine will not release, it will not the impulse will not transmitted and the brain will not receive that impulse and we will not feel the pain. This is the mechanism of action of morphine. So how that acetylcholine, before knowing that the acetylcholine will release of acetylcholine is prevented, but how that acetylcholine will release, that we also know. For that, when the nerves or cells are nerve cells, they are in resting stage, then they are polarized, means all the potassium ion, they are inside the cell and calcium ion, they are outside the cell, and these calcium ion channels, they are voltage sensitive, they will act according to the voltage. So whenever there will be the pain and stimulus will form from that pain, then what will happen, it will go into depolarization, and when the depolarization will occur, all the potassium ions, they will come outward and calcium ions will go inside the cell, and when it nearly about when it will reaches voltage, it will reaches to 70 millivolt, then it will produce it will cause depolarization, and which is followed by repolarization. So this is the calcium ion channel which is voltage sensitive or which will act, and due to that action, now the neurotransmitter will release, that is acetylcholine. And what the morphine will do, morphine will inhibit that activity of the channel, calcium ion channel, and it will prevent release of acetylcholine. It will attach to the analgesic receptors and it will prevent the release of that acetylcholine, and in this way it will give relief from pain. Another use is, it is used as hypnotic. As unlike many other hypnotics, they act mainly on sensory nerve cell of the cerebrum. So hypnotic means it will cause sleep, or it will induce, those drugs which will induce sleep, they are known as hypnotics. Now RAS, reticular activating system, is responsible for wakefulness or sleep. The reticular activity system, that is RAS, it is responsible for wakefulness or sleep. Both they are depend upon the release of neurohumoral substance. Which type of neurohumoral substance is released, according to that sleep or wakefulness will occur. The drug that influence the activity of any one of the neurotransmitter would affect the sleep process. Which type of neurotransmitter is released, according to that the sleep process is there. So if there is reduction or depression or inhibition in activity of RAS, result in sleep. Therefore, sleep can be encouraged by drugs that are known to inhibit the transmission of impulse in reticular system. Reticular activity system, the impulse is transmitted to the reticular activity system. And which type of impulse is transmitted to reticular activity system, according to that the sleep process is there. So reduction or inhibition or depression in activity of RAS, that will result in sleep. So what morphine or opium will do, it will reduce or depress or inhibit the activity of reticular activity system, that is RAS, and due to which it will cause a sleep which is just like a natural sleep. It will produce a sleep which will like a natural sleep, that is known as hypnotics. Next is, it can be used as milder sedative and than morphine and useful in allaying coughing. So codeine is one of the alkaloid, opium alkaloid, that will be used in cough suppressant mixtures or cough mixtures. What they will do, they will suppress the cough center in the brainstem, and due to which they will used as a cough suppressant in various cough mixture. It will suppress the cough center in the brainstem. Both morphine and codeine decreases metabolism, and latter, particularly before the introduction of insulin, was used for treatment of diabetes. So here, due to introduction of morphine and codeine, the effect of morphine and codeine is that they will decrease the metabolism. If there will be decrease in metabolism, decrease in breakdown of carbohydrate, then it will not release the glucose molecule, and hence the glucose level in blood and serum, that will be decreased, and due to that it will used give a hypoglycemic effect, and also used in treatment of diabetes. Those patients who are suffering from diabetes, they are having hyperglycemia. So what morphine will do? Morphine will inhibit the morphine will decrease the or slow down the metabolism, and due to which glucose blood glucose level will decrease, and due to which it will give the hypoglycemic effect and used in treatment of diabetes. Opium will closely resembling morphine, exerts its action more slowly and therefore preferable in many cases in treatment of diarrhea. Same thing is there, decrease in metabolism, decrease in breakdown of carbohydrate, proteins, and due to which what will happen, it will slower down the peristalsis movement, and due to which it is used in treatment of diarrhea, because those patients who are suffering from diarrhea, there will be increase in peristalsis, and to prevent that if there will be slow down of metabolism, then naturally slow down metabolism will slow down the peristalsis movement and used in treatment of diarrhea. Opium is also used as a diaphoretic. Diaphoresis is a autonomic manifestation and which is caused due to adrenergic stress response. Those patients who are taking opium and all this, they are under some stress, and due to that what will happen, the diaphoresis will occur, How that diaphoresis will occur? Diaphoresis means perspiration or increase in sweating. The nervous system sends signal to the sweat gland to release the salty fluid. The nervous system will send a signal to the sweat gland, and due to which there will be a release of salty fluid will take place, and in this way diaphoresis will occur. So it is also used as diaphoretic. The habitual use of codeine may in some individual produce constipation. So if those patients who are taking codeine habitually, due to long term administration of these drugs, they will cause constipation, because they will slow down the metabolism rate, and due to which there will be decrease in peristalsis movement, and due to which it may cause constipation due to continuous or long term administration of codeine. So this drug So this is about the uses of opium, and long term use or patient taking long term use of this drug, they may cause physical dependence, addiction, drug abuse. All these are the side effects on long term administration of this opium or opium alkaloid. So this is about the opium. If you like my video, please press the like button and subscribe my channel. Thank you.